Do you ever feel like the weight of the years isn't just in your joints or your back, but somehow, everywhere? Like there's a quiet heaviness that surrounds you, maybe even follows you around your home. It's a feeling many of us start to notice as we move through our 60s and look towards that milestone birthday of 70. We've accumulated so much over the decades, not just possessions, but experiences, memories, responsibilities, even worries, and sometimes all of that accumulation, while a testament to a life well lived, can start to feel less like a comforting blanket and more like a heavy cloak we're constantly wearing. The painful reality is that carrying all this stuff, whether it's literally filling our attics or metaphorically weighing on our minds, can steal the very peace and freedom we hope to enjoy in this chapter of life. But there's a secret to shaking off that weight, to stepping into your 70s feeling lighter and more vibrant than you thought possible. It's about strategic, gentle letting go. In this video, we're going to explore 6 specific areas you can begin to declutter before you turn 70 that can make a profound difference in how you live and how you feel every single day. It's not about minimalism or getting rid of everything. It's about making space for what truly matters and shedding what no longer serves you. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you about how deeply this process can transform your life. Let's start right in the most obvious place. The place that often feels the most visible when we think of decluttering our physical space. Our homes. Think about it. Years, decades, spent gathering things. Mementos from trips. Gifts from loved ones long past. Clothes that no longer fit or suit our style. Hobbies we tried and abandoned. Tools we might use someday. Basements fill up. Attics become repositories of forgotten treasures and not-so treasures. Closets overflow. And kitchen cupboards hold gadgets we used once. This physical clutter isn't just dust collecting junk. It has a real impact on us. It takes up space. Yes. But it also takes up mental energy. Every time you look at that overflowing closet, you might feel a tiny pang of overwhelm, guilt, or simply frustration that you can't find what you need. Every time you navigate a cluttered garage, it's a reminder of a task undone. It can make your home, which should be a sanctuary of peace and comfort, feel instead like another source of stress. Decluttering your physical space before 70 isn't about creating a sterile, empty house. It's about creating a home that supports your life as it is now. And as you want it to be in the years ahead, it's about making it easier to find things, easier to clean, and easier to simply relax and breathe. Where do you even begin with physical clutter when it feels like a mountain? The key is to start small and be gentle with yourself. Don't try to tackle the entire garage in a weekend. Pick one small area. Maybe it's a single drawer in the kitchen. That junk drawer we all have. Or perhaps it's one shelf in a linen closet. Set a timer for just 15 or 20 minutes. Your goal in that time isn't perfection, but progress. Take everything out of that small area. Look at each item. Ask yourself, do I use this? Do I love this? Does it add value to my life right now? Be honest, but not harsh. If you haven't used something in years and can't honestly see yourself using it in the foreseeable future, thank it for its service and consider letting it go. Have 3 boxes or bags ready, one for keeping, one for donating, and one for discarding. Put items into the appropriate box. When the timer goes off, stop. You've made progress. Even a small drawer decluttered can give you a feeling of accomplishment and momentum. Over time, these small victories add up. Another approach is to focus on categories. Maybe start with clothes. Go through your wardrobe and pull out anything that doesn't fit, is worn out, or that you simply haven't worn in the last year or two. Be realistic about what you'll wear. Our bodies change. Our lifestyles change. Holding on to clothes from a different era or a different size is just holding on to the past in a way that clutters your present. Donate wearable items to charity. Focus on having a wardrobe that you feel good in today. The same goes for books. Are there shelves full of books you'll never read again? Consider donating them to a library, a charity shop, or even a retirement home. Someone else could enjoy them. Kitchen gadgets. Be ruthless with those unitaskers you rarely use. Tools. Keep the ones you actually use. Consider if others could be borrowed or if a newer, lighter version would be more suitable now. Beyond the purely practical, there's the emotional side of physical clutter. We often attach memories and sentimentality to objects. It's okay to keep some cherished mementos. Of course, but you don't need to keep everything. Perhaps you have boxes and boxes of old photographs, instead of keeping every single blurry snapshot. Could you select the best ones and put them in an album or scan them digitally? You can still cherish the memories without the physical volume. Or perhaps you have items from loved ones who have passed away. You don't honor their memory by keeping every single thing they owned. You honor them by living a full, free life. Choose a few key pieces that truly hold meaning and let go of the rest. Think of it as curating your memories, selecting the highlights to display or easily access, rather than being buried under the sheer volume of the past. This physical decluttering process, while seemingly about things, is actually deeply personal and can be incredibly freeing. It makes space not just in your home, but in your mind. For the life you are living now. It reduces stress, makes things easier, and allows you to enjoy your home more fully. Now, moving from the physical space around us, let's talk about the space inside us and the things we carry there that weigh us down just as much, if not more, than a cluttered garage. I'm talking about emotional clutter. This can be things like old grudges you're still holding on to, regrets about past decisions, unresolved conflicts, or feelings of guilt or resentment that have lingered for years. Just like physical clutter, this emotional baggage takes up immense energy. It can manifest as stress, anxiety, difficulty sleeping, or even physical ailments. Carrying around anger towards someone who hurt you years ago doesn't punish them. It only punishes you. Day after day. Dwelling on past regrets doesn't change the past. It just steals the joy from your present. Before you turn 70, making a conscious effort to address this emotional clutter is a powerful act of self-kindness. It's about choosing to release the past so you can fully embrace the present and future. How do you declutter emotions? It's certainly different from sorting through a drawer. It starts with acknowledging what's there. Take some quiet time to reflect. What feelings bubble up when you think about certain people or past events? Are there names or situations that immediately bring a knot to your stomach or a tightening in your chest? Don't judge these feelings, just observe them. Once you identify an area of emotional clutter, like a lingering resentment towards a family member or a regret about a career path not taken, consider what letting go would feel like. It doesn't mean condoning past behavior or pretending something didn't happen. It means choosing to release the emotional hold it has on you. Forgiveness, whether of yourself or others, is a powerful tool here. Forgiveness isn't about saying it was okay. It's about saying, I am no longer going to carry the burden of this hurt. Sometimes, writing down your feelings can help. Write a letter to the person you resent, expressing your feelings, but don't send it. The act of writing can be releasing. Or write about the regret you hold, and then consciously decide to focus on the lessons learned rather than the perceived failure. This process can be challenging, and sometimes it's helpful to talk to someone, a trusted friend, a family member, or even a professional counselor. They can offer a different perspective and support. But even starting with small steps of acknowledgement and intention can make a difference. Think about how much energy you expend revisiting these old hurts or regrets. Imagine reclaiming that energy and directing it towards something positive in your life right now. Perhaps it's spending quality time with loved ones, pursuing a hobby, or simply enjoying a quiet moment of peace. Letting go of emotional clutter is an ongoing practice, not a one-time event. But consciously starting this process before 70 can create a profound sense of freedom and lightness as you move into this new decade. It allows you to enter your 70s not as a summation of your past hurts, but as a person ready to live fully in the present. Now, let's shift our focus to a type of clutter that didn't even exist for most of our lives, but has rapidly become a significant source of overwhelmed digital clutter. Think about your computer, your phone, your email inbox. How many unread emails are sitting there? Hundreds, thousands. How many photos are stored on your phone or in the cloud? Thousands. Tens of thousands. Most of which you'll never look at again. What about all those files on your computer desktop? The downloads folder, that's a black hole. The unused apps on your phone or tablet. This digital mess might not take up physical space in your home, though it does take up space on devices. But it takes up significant mental space and time. Searching for a specific email, trying to find that one photo from a special event, or simply feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of digital information can be surprisingly draining. Decluttering your digital life before 70 can streamline things, reduce stress, and free up valuable time and energy. It makes it easier to connect with others online, to find information you need, and to enjoy your digital devices rather than feeling buried by them. Let's break down a few key areas. First, email. This is a big one for many people. Unsubscribe from newsletters and promotional emails you don't read. Be ruthless if you haven't opened emails from a sender in months. Chances are you won't miss them. Create folders for important emails you need to keep, like financial records or communications about appointments. But aim for an empty or near-empty main inbox. Treat your inbox like a mailbox, something you process regularly, not a long-term storage facility. Delete or archive emails after you've dealt with them. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes each day or a few times a week to manage your inbox. Next, photos. Oh, the photos with digital cameras and smartphones. We can take hundreds of pictures in a single outing. Most are redundant or not very good. Set a goal to go through your photos regularly, maybe once a month. Delete duplicates, blurry shots, and those you know you'll never want to see again. Organize the keepers into folders by date or event. Consider backing them up to a cloud service or external hard drive for safety. But having a manageable, curated collection is so much more enjoyable than an overwhelming digital shoebox. You might even decide to print some of the very best ones to display or put in physical albums, bringing them back into the tangible world where they can be appreciated. Think about files on your computer. Is your desktop covered in icons? Are documents saved haphazardly? Create a simple folder system that makes sense to you, e.g., documents, photos, finances, projects. Save new files directly into the correct folder, and take some time regularly to file away or delete old downloads and documents you no longer need. Uninstall unused apps on your phone or computer. Not only do they take up space, but they can also be a security risk if they're not updated. If you haven't used an app in months, chances are you don't need it. Deleting them can make your devices run faster and feel less cluttered. Digital clutter might seem less impactful than physical clutter, but the constant low-level stress of feeling overwhelmed by it is real. Taking steps to organize and reduce your digital footprint can free up mental bandwidth and make your online interactions more pleasant and productive. It's about taking control of your digital world instead of letting it control you. This is an area where even small, consistent efforts can lead to significant improvements over time, leaving you feeling much more organized and less stressed by the technology that's meant to make life easier. It's a modern form of decluttering that is increasingly essential for peace of mind. Let's talk about a type of clutter that can be deeply draining but isn't a physical object: social clutter. As we get older, our social circles might naturally change. Some friendships deepen, while others fade. Family dynamics evolve. And sometimes, we find ourselves maintaining relationships or social obligations out of habit, guilt, or a sense of duty, even if they no longer nourish us or actively drain our energy. This isn't about becoming a hermit or abandoning everyone. It's about honestly assessing your social connections and commitments and deciding which ones truly add value, joy, and support to your life, and which ones consistently leave you feeling tired, negative, or obligated. Social clutter can look like agreeing to attend events you have no interest in, spending time with people whose company you don't genuinely enjoy, or feeling burdened by the demands or negativity of certain relationships. Just like a cluttered room can make you feel trapped, cluttered social life can make you feel boxed in and unable to spend your valuable time and energy on the people and activities that truly light you up. Decluttering your social life before 70 is about curating a support system and social circle that lifts you up, respects you, and brings you genuine connection and happiness. It's about quality over quantity. How do you approach social decluttering? This requires introspection and courage. Start by making a mental or even physical list of the significant people and social commitments in your life. For each one, honestly ask yourself, how do I feel before, during, and after interacting with this person or fulfilling this commitment? Do I look forward to it? Do I feel energized or drained afterwards? Is there a balance of giving and receiving? Or do I feel like I'm constantly giving and getting little back? Be honest with yourself, without judgment. If certain relationships or commitments consistently leave you feeling drained, resentful, or unhappy, it might be time to evaluate them. Decluttering social connections doesn't always mean cutting people out entirely. Sometimes, it means setting boundaries. Maybe you love a friend, but find their constant negativity overwhelming. You could set a boundary by limiting the time you spend with them, or gently changing the subject when the conversation turns negative. It might mean saying no more often to invitations that don't excite you, without feeling the need to invent elaborate excuses. It could mean reducing contact with distant relatives whose interactions are always strained. In some cases, for relationships that are truly toxic or harmful, it might mean making the difficult decision to step away for your own well-being. Focus on nurturing the relationships that are positive and supportive. Invest your time and energy in the people who make you feel good about yourself, who share your interests, and who are there for you when you need them, and vice versa. This process can feel challenging, especially if you're someone who tends to people-please. There might be fear of disappointing others or feeling lonely. But remember, your time and energy are precious, especially as you look towards your 70s. You deserve to spend them in ways that bring you joy and connection, not obligation and depletion. Clearing out social clutter makes space for deeper, more meaningful connections with the people who truly matter, and allows you to use your social energy in ways that are truly fulfilling. Following closely on the heels of social clutter is calendar clutter. This is the flip side of social obligations, but it also includes personal commitments. It's the feeling of being overscheduled, even in retirement, saying yes to too many things. Whether it's volunteering for multiple committees, agreeing to babysit grandchildren every single day, scheduling back-to-back appointments, or simply filling every hour with activities because you feel you should be busy. A cluttered calendar can leave you feeling rushed, stressed, and exhausted, with no time for spontaneity, rest, or simply doing nothing. Decluttering your calendar before 70 is about taking control of your time and making conscious choices about how you spend your days. It's about recognizing that your time is valuable and finite, and that it's okay. In fact, it's essential to prioritize rest, leisure, and activities that genuinely bring you joy and relaxation. Look at your typical week or month. Where is your time going? Are there commitments that feel like a burden? Are you saying yes out of habit or guilt? Are you leaving any blank space for downtime? To declutter your calendar, start by identifying your priorities for this stage of your life. What activities genuinely energize you? What people do you most want to spend time with? What brings you a sense of peace or purpose? Then, compare this to how your time is actually scheduled. Are they aligned? Be brave about saying no to things that don't fit your priorities or that you simply don't want to do. You don't need to justify your reasons. A simple, "I'm sorry, I won't be able to," is sufficient. It can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to being busy or always available. But remember, saying no to one thing is saying yes to something else, perhaps to rest, to a spontaneous outing, or to dedicated time for a beloved hobby. Consider scheduling in downtime, just like you would schedule an appointment. Mark off blocks of time in your week for reading, relaxing, pursuing a hobby, or simply having unscheduled time. Protect this time fiercely. Be mindful of overcommitting, even to enjoyable things. Sometimes, having too many good things packed in can still feel overwhelming. Pace yourself. Allow for transitions between activities. Build in buffer time. Decluttering your calendar creates space for spontaneity, rest, and the freedom to wake up some mornings and decide what you feel like doing, rather than being dictated by a packed schedule. It allows you to savor moments and truly enjoy your free time, rather than feeling constantly rushed or obligated. Finally, let's delve into a form of clutter that is perhaps the most pervasive and insidious mental clutter. This is the constant noise in your head. The worries, the overthinking, the negative self-talk, the endless to-do lists that live only in your mind. The limiting beliefs you hold about yourself or the world. Our minds can become cluttered with anxieties about the future, ruminations about the past, comparing ourselves to others, or replaying difficult conversations. This mental chatter can make it hard to focus, hard to relax, and impossible to find peace. It's like having dozens of browser tabs open in your brain all the time, constantly demanding attention. Before you turn 70, learning to manage and reduce this mental clutter is arguably one of the most important acts of self-care you can undertake. It's about training your mind to focus on what truly matters and to release the thoughts that don't serve you. It's about cultivating a sense of inner calm and clarity that allows you to fully appreciate your life. Mental clutter steals your present moment. It keeps you trapped in what-ifs and should-haves, preventing you from experiencing the simple joys of now. How do you begin to declutter your mind? It starts with awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts. What loops are running in your head? Are they mostly negative or positive? Do you spend a lot of time worrying about things you can't control? Do you default to criticizing yourself? Simply noticing these patterns without judgment is the first step. One helpful technique is mindfulness or meditation. Even just a few minutes a day of sitting quietly, focusing on your breath, and gently redirecting your attention back to the present moment when your mind wanders, can train your brain to be less reactive to every passing thought. Think of your thoughts like clouds drifting across the sky. You can observe them without needing to grab onto each one and analyze it. Another way to reduce mental clutter is to get things out of your head. If you're constantly trying to remember tasks or appointments, write them down. Keep a notebook by your bed or use a simple to-do list app. Getting tasks onto paper frees up mental RAM. If you're worrying about something, try writing down your worries. Sometimes seeing them on paper makes them feel less overwhelming and can help you identify if there are any actionable steps you can take, or if it's something you need to practice accepting. Challenge your negative thoughts. If you catch yourself thinking something critical or limiting, ask yourself, is this thought actually true? Is it helpful? Often, our inner critic is much harsher than reality. Limit your exposure to information overload, which fuels mental clutter. This might mean spending less time watching the news if it causes you anxiety, or taking breaks from social media if it leads to comparison or negative feelings. Just like you curate your physical and social environments, you can curate your mental input. Focus on consuming content that is uplifting, informative in a helpful way, or simply enjoyable. Finally, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Your mind isn't going to become perfectly silent overnight, and some degree of thinking and feeling is normal. The goal isn't to eliminate thoughts, but to reduce the clutter, the excessive, unhelpful, draining mental activity. So, we've talked about decluttering the physical space around you, releasing emotional baggage, taming your digital world, curating your social connections, managing your calendar, and quieting the mental noise. These 6 areas: physical stuff, emotional weight, digital overload, social drains, calendar cramming, and mental chatter, can collectively weigh us down significantly as we get older. Think about the cumulative effect of carrying all of that burden. It's no wonder we might feel less energetic, more stressed, and less free than we'd like. But imagine the opposite. Imagine a home where things are easy to find, where every item serves a purpose or brings you joy. Imagine feeling free from old hurts and regrets, able to engage fully in your present relationships. Imagine a digital life that's organized and supportive, not overwhelming. Imagine a social circle filled with people who lift you up and commitments that genuinely fulfill you. Imagine a calendar with space for rest, spontaneity, and joy. And imagine a mind that's calmer, clearer, and more focused on the good things in your life. That's the freedom and lightness that comes from conscious decluttering across all these areas. It's not about perfection. And it's certainly not about judging how much you currently have or hold on to. It's about progress and making intentional choices as you approach this significant milestone of turning 70. It's about setting yourself up for a decade and beyond that feels lighter, more joyful, and truly free. This isn't just about getting rid of things. It's about making space for your life to unfold with more ease and happiness. It's about honoring the person you are now and the life you want to live going forward. You might be surprised at how interconnected these areas are. Clearing out a cluttered closet might give you the mental boost to finally tackle that pile of emails. Releasing a long-held resentment might free up emotional energy that allows you to be more present with your friends. Setting boundaries around your time might reduce mental stress. It's a holistic process that impacts every aspect of your well-being. And the surprising thing I mentioned at the beginning, it's how much more you gain by letting go. You gain energy, peace of mind, clarity, freedom, and the ability to fully enjoy the richness of your life now. This journey of decluttering is personal, and you get to decide the pace and the areas you focus on. Start small, celebrate the little wins, and be patient and compassionate with yourself. The goal isn't an empty house or a perfectly silent mind, but a life that feels manageable, joyful, and authentically yours. As you move towards 70, give yourself the incredible gift of lightness and freedom by gently shedding what weighs you down. What one thing resonated with you the most from our conversation today? Is there one area, physical, emotional, digital, social, calendar, or mental, that you feel most ready to start addressing? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your experiences and intentions. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss future videos designed to help you live your best life at every age. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health, happiness, and sense of freedom. Live your best life at every age.